my name is Sam Marquardt from Marquardt, Barrington, Buick GMC, and today I have a very exciting product to show you. It's the all-new 2024 GMC Canyon AT4X. GMC is a premium truck brand, and what they have done over the past few years is really focus in on that word premium, and it really shows in this beautiful product as we see before us. The GMC Canyon has been around since 2004, and this is the third generation of it. They have really put a ton of technology into this thing. They've beautifully crafted this, and they've come out with an excellent product. GMC designs have always been bold, and I have to say the same with this product. The different grille that they have here is quite unique. They have these pieces of the grille that spur off from the ends of it, and it really forms an X. I call it the X grille. And the grille is intricate itself. You have these pieces of plastic and these different aluminum pieces that spur off from there, and it really gives it a dynamic, really nice 3D look. And then moving on to the headlights right here. So you have this C-shaped headlight right here, but obviously the front bumper cuts off into it, and it really gives it a nice, futuristic, unique design. I really like that. And their headlight is actually right here within the headlight housing. So you get those very bright LED lights. We have the fog lamps hidden a little bit down there. And then even just moving lower here, we have the fascia, the lower fascia, and this has a different contrast. I really like that silver contrast that they have right there. And these recovery hooks are right below as well. If you have someone on the side of the road, you're able to take care of them, get some tow strap, pull them out of there, help them out. Or if you need to get a big log around the yard and drag it, you can do that. So I really like the functionality that comes with recovery hooks. And then even within the grille here, we have the GMC, nice and bold red, and we even have a hidden camera. So you have that 360 camera that goes around the entire vehicle. And they even have that AT4X badging right on the grille. I like that attention to detail. Now let's open her up. Now we cannot forget to talk about this engine right here. It's insanely impressive. This is a 2.7 liter inline 4-cylinder engine. And the numbers that it puts out are remarkable. It puts out 310 horsepower and get it, 430 pound-feet of torque, which is insane. So this vehicle will get you around very fast. And I have to mention, this also has a big turbo. And that's one reason it's able to put out some insane numbers. This turbo puts out 20 PSI. That's a lot of turbo boost. This engine is extremely impressive, and it actually comes on every trim of the Canyon. Now moving on to the wheels. I really like these wheels. They're 17 inches, and I really like how they have the two tones to them. They have the high gloss black finish, and then also the machined aluminum edges, and it really looks very premium. Not only that, but the tires themselves. These are very gnarly looking Wrangler tires. They're super beefy, very off-road capable. Those chunks of rubber sticking out there, that tread is awesome. This will get you off-road, and it'll get you out of all kinds of situations. I also like these fenders right here. They're very squared off and fit the profile of the truck very nicely. And something that's new to the GMC mid-size trucks are these marker lamps. They've only really had them on the HDs, the heavy-duty Sierras, but now they've brought this feature into the smaller mid-size truck, and I really like it. Not only are they functional to see them where they are at nighttime, but they just look cool. And just coming to these running boards, they're so gnarly, they're beefy. They're great for accessing your vehicle, but not only that, but on the top part of them, just the side here, it can work as a rocker panel and also under them. So what that does is whenever you're going off-roading, you'll slide, you'll glide over those rocks, and instead of damaging the body, you'll just glide over them. So it's very useful, very practical, and super important on any off-road truck. The new Canyons can tow up to 7,700 pounds. That is insane. That is best in class with any mid-size truck. This, however, is the AT4X, which means it's the most off-road capable trim level within the brand. So you have a completely different suspension system than all of the other Canyon. This has the Multimatic DSSV suspension dampener system, and it works phenomenal going off-road. But because of the different suspension, you're not able to tow up to 7,700 pounds. You can only tow up to 6,000 pounds on this specific trim level. So if you want to exceed the towing of 6,000 pounds, this is not the right trim level for you. And hey, please don't forget to like and subscribe. These videos obviously put a little bit of work into them, so if you can like and subscribe, even comment on it, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your 21-gallon fuel tank is located on the left side of the vehicle, and it is capless, so you don't have to worry about unscrewing that cap. You can just stick the nozzle right in there. Also, a good thing to note is that these mirrors do have blind spot alert. So when someone is coming up on you and you can't see them in your blind spot, this light will illuminate orange, indicating that you should not turn. So that's a very handy feature. Now moving on to the back of the Canyon. I like the layout of the back end. Of course you have your badging, so you get your bold GMC badging there. You got your Canyon, and of course we can't forget, this is an AT4X, so we have that right there. And on this bumper, I like the grip that it has. They actually have these triangle patterns on there, so for texture, but it also just is a really cool design, so I like the attention to detail. And then of course you have your parking sensors, and you have your trailer hitch, your class 3 trailer hitch, and you have that C-shaped tail light, as you can see right there. And then one thing I also can't forget to mention is, of course you have your backup camera, so that's here. If you choose to have a tonneau cover on this truck, you can't secure it, you can lock it. So you have that key lock right there to make sure if you have any valuable items in your truck that they won't get stolen. So on to opening up the tailgate here. It's actually different than the other Canyon tailgates. All of the new Canyons now have more functionality to them, which I really appreciate. So you have these latches right here. So one latch here, push out, one latch on the other side, push out, and then you're able to open up this part, which is really cool. So this is a storage container. So it's watertight, so you can store beverages if you want. You can put some beverages in here, shove some ice in there, close it up, and it'll be perfectly fine. Or also, you can even just use this for tools or whatever. Any extra storage space you have on a truck is always a game changer. So to close it back up, you just push down on that and then lock it, push down on the other place where it latches, lock it, that easy. And also I have to note, with this tailgate, they actually added a tape measure into it, which is really cool. So it goes all the way from 0 inches to 48, from side to side. So that's really cool. So if you have some wood, you're working on a project, you want to measure it out, put some notches in it, get it cut up, you can do that with your truck, which is pretty insane. Or if you're out on a fishing trip, and I'm a fisherman myself, so sometimes I wonder how big was that catch and I didn't have a tape measure on me. Well, if I had this truck, all I have to do, bring my fish up to the tailgate, see how big it is, and voila, there you have it. So I really like the attention to detail that GMC really put into this truck. So being on the tailgate of the truck feels great. I just like tailgating, it's fun. With the bed though, it is a 5-foot bed, so you can fit some good stuff in there. Like I mentioned, you've got the wood in the tailgate, you're cutting it up. Well, you're gonna need a power tool. How are you gonna power it? Well, glad you asked, because you have a 120 volt outlet right here. Look at that, with a 400 watt output. Perfect. I love GMCs, don't you? This truck is built in Missouri. You can actually tell where it's made right on the corner of the door right down there, which is a cool fact. So onto this door though, the rest of it, we have some storage, as you can tell. We got a little pocket here, then a cup holder right down there. Really looks nice. I like the white contrast, it's really premium. And then also they have leather along here with the diagonal stitching. The armrest here, that's all soft touch, and we got leather and stitching as well. And this trim piece also looks pretty cool. It's almost like a carbon fiber look. Yeah, I really like the door layout. And then we have your speaker system here that is Bose. And man, do I like Bose speakers. So you also can't forget, This is an AT4X, a high-end truck. So we got seat memory right there. So you have 2 different settings for the seat memory, and you also have easy exit, easy access. When I get in this Canyon, all I have to say is whoa. It's crazy what they've done. There is absolutely no comparison from last Canyon to this generation of the Canyon. You can't compare the two. Wow. It's such a nice interior. It's remarkable. From ground up, this Canyon is such a supreme truck. If I'm just talking about screens alone, this vehicle's insane. I mean, I have the infotainment system right here. It's 11.3 inches. 11.3. And not only is that big, but the driver instrument cluster display panel, that's 11 inches. And not only do I have that, but I also have the HUD, the head-up display, and that's 6.3 inches. Man, this thing is just crazy. I love this truck. The technology in here, man, it's off-road capable, it's luxurious. I love this truck. It's fantastic. I'm sorry I keep saying it. I'm just excited because this is such a cool product, and I'm really happy with where GMC is right now and how they're just operating, how they're going in the future. I urge you, get in a dealer today, drive one of these. This is not a Tesla where it's just a stupid big tablet on it without details, without intricate details. GM, they spend more time on their products. They like design. GM took the time and really designed a beautiful interior, and this is how it should be. And one thing to note is that wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Yes, this vehicle has that. The days of, well, wired devices is now over, thank God. So that's amazing. You can enjoy the benefit of all of your apps easily connecting to the vehicle. Man, technology is the best. Thank you, GM. For those that are debating, maybe I get a Canyon, maybe I get a Sierra, well, something that you want to know is that there's a $20,000 difference between the two. So if you're looking at a Sierra AT4 versus a Canyon AT4, $20,000. That's a lot of money. This interior is unique comparative to the other Canyons. For example, this beautiful white leather streaming across the entire dash, that is unique. This interior trim that kind of looks like carbon fiber with that AT4X plaque, of course, that is unique. The anodized red aluminum pieces with all of the, almost practically all the knobs that I can find, that's also unique. So for example, it's on this knob, of course this AC knob as well, the volume knob. It's on this mode selection knob here, got the red stitching along the shifter. Red stitching on the glove box. If we even go to the steering wheel, you have the red stitching all throughout the inner parts of the steering wheel. The red anodized aluminum around the AC vents. And then if we go into these toggles right down here, I just even more of that red aluminum. It looks so cool within the rubber toggles system. And then of course we got the beautiful seats. Oh man, the embroidery looks awesome for the AT4X here, and just that white leather and the red contrasting, it looks so fine, so premium. It's so nice. So let me just go through a few things. We already talked about the door here. So the steering wheel, it's very nice, it's elegant. I really like the smaller GMC. This used to be bigger for the horn. So I like that they made this section smaller. You can see that bigger display because of the carb out there. You can go through your menu settings for your different cluster display through this button. You have your heated steering wheel. You have your call right there. You have your voice commands, your music right here, and then your cruise control settings are over here. And this actually has adaptive cruise control, which is really nice. So what that means is that when you're coming up on a car, it will slow the vehicle down, and then when this vehicle in front of you speeds up, it will also speed up. So you can actually change your gap adjustment right here, and that actually shows. So if you want it to keep a closer profile in the car, you can. If you want it to be really far, you can, and you have your medium. So you have your 3 different settings for that, for your gap adjustment, which is really nice. This is the 11-inch digital cluster display system, and man is it cool. This is the simplistic design right now. It has 4 other options. So here's the next one. I like this one, just the split in information. You have a lot of information displayed at once. This one looks pretty epic. I like the design. This next one, oh man, that gets me. I'd use this all the time. It's like an Audi. I've been wanting GM to do this for years, where the whole digital cluster display is just all a map. It looks so cool. I love it. Then on to the next one here. This is also great information right here. All the RPMs, the G-force that you feel when driving. I love that. It's so cool. Then this next bit here, this is the perfect one for off-road. Pitch angle, all of that stuff. Oh man, I love the off-road information displayed like this. Just the graphics look so cool. And then this one, I'd probably mainly drive with this on. I just like gap adjustment, and it also shows the amount of seconds that you have in gap adjustment right there. So if you're too close, you know, it could be like half a second, but you know, it'll just keep you more aware of how much distance and stopping time you have with vehicles in front of you. So I really like when they have that on there. And I'll just go back to the simple display menu. So there we go, that's the cluster display system. As for the enormous infotainment display system, this is just like a really nice touchscreen, which is fantastic. So I can move everything around like a smartphone, and you just hold it down, move it to wherever you want. I love how customizable this is. So the camera system in this vehicle is very advanced. You can press the camera button right there, and it'll bring you to all of your camera options. So right now we are facing the front of the vehicle. If I want to change that, we press that button, and there goes by a car. That is the back of the vehicle. And then if you want to close up on the hitch, if you're trying to hook up a trailer, you can press this button. It'll show you the front side, but if you press it again, then it'll show you your back for the hitch. And you also have a side view of the vehicle. So we have the back tires versus the front tires, which is really neat. And then we also have the 360 camera here. So I really like the 360 camera. I always have 360 on, and then I normally have the front or the back camera so I can see around the vehicle very nicely. But what is unique to the AT4X are the underbody cameras, which are so cool. So there, you can go see the underbody like so. I really like this angle of the underbody. It's so cool. Or this one. I like the zoomed out version. So this is totally meant for going off-roading. I mean, you can see exactly where things are at under your vehicle. So for this stack here, we have the rear e-locking differentials, we have the front and rear e-locking differentials, we have the auto stop, which you can deactivate by a push of a button, the hazard lights, the lane keep assist, which you can obviously turn off or on, so that'll nudge you back in the lane when you're getting close to the line or crossing over it. The vehicle will shift back into the lane, which is really nice. You got the aux button, and then if you want to put all of the windows down by one push of a button, you can do that with this toggle section. For all of your climate control options, they are right here, nicely laid out, which is cool. So I can have my climate control over here, separate from over here. If I want to sync them, I hit the sync button right there, and they all go to the driver controls. So that's pretty cool. You have the AC button on or off. You have the recirculation button right here. So if something is smelly outside, press that button and it will recirculate all of the cabin air, so you don't have to smell all that. The bigger fan obviously turns up the vehicle climate, and then the smaller one turns down the vehicle climate. And then we have the rear defogger and the max windshield defogger right there. We have the auto climate control here. We have cooled seats, heated seats, and then this is also for windshield again. And then we have face controls, foot controls. I have both those pushed right now because I want air coming at the face and the feet. And then if you want to turn everything off, just press that button. And then of course we have the heated seat and then the cooled seat for the right passenger. Then we have the USB-A right here, USB-C for charging options. And then of course we cannot forget the wireless charging down here. Again, we have that mode selector. To get to our different mode selections, we use this dial system and we go either clockwise or counterclockwise. So we have normal mode, off-road, tow and haul, terrain, Baja, and then back to normal. We have auto, 2 high, 4 high, 4 low. We have the emergency parking, or also just your parking brake in general. If you want your electronic parking brake, that's the button you press. I like all this piano black molding around here. It's really nice accenting. We have horizontally mounted cup holders. We have this tray that you can remove. And then you have 120 volt within the armrest, which is pretty cool. So if you need to use that, there it is. And of course we got the glove box over here, which has a decent amount of space. Can't forget about the Bose speaker system. I like that being up there. And then you also have a little storage right behind the screen, which is quite cool. Due to them wanting to save space for your arms along the display over here, they took out that right stalk. So now you have the left stalk, which controls your windshield wipers and also, of course, your blinker. And then down here to the left of the steering wheel, you have your trailer brake and also this lighting dimmer, which controls the entire interior lighting at nighttime. And just a nice creature comfort that they have is the adjustable seatbelt. It does bug me a bit when they don't have this in vehicles, so it is nice to tell you that the GMC Canyon does have the adjustable seatbelt. Also moving up here, I cannot forget to mention the sunroof. This is actually the first time the Canyon has ever had the sunroof, so that is a big deal, and it's always convenient to have. I really like the rubber matting that comes with this. AT4X, it just covers the floor so nicely. Even in the back, definitely wraps around very nicely. Also, I have to mention child lock. Child lock is manual on these doors, and it was on. So I'm turning that off because I don't want to get locked in the vehicle. As for storage in the back row, you actually have to put this lever up, and then you have to push the seat up, and there you go. You have your jack and all of that as well. You do have these handle grips on the back ceiling, which is nice. I am in the second row of the Canyon currently. Surprisingly, I have a decent bit of leg room. I am 5'8", but I do have to say, if you have 3 adults back here, it's going to be a little tight. So forewarning you there. And then in regards to just interesting difference between the other Canyons, you do have a little headrest right here. It's kind of funny because it's small, but it's great because if you can just put it down and it doesn't block a ton of your visibility out the back. So that is definitely beneficial. And then as for opening the back window, yes, you can. It's manual, but you can open it. So this is perfect if you have long pieces of lumber, whatever, any long items, you can stick through that window. So I'm happy that they didn't just make that a stationary window, that it is functional and you can move it. Then of course we have the armrest in here. Couple of cup holders that you can have right here. Use it as an armrest, make it extra comfy. I also like how they added the cup holders right here. And you can put the biggest drinks in the world right there and it won't affect you, so I like that. You get these little AC vents down here. I'm glad we have some AC that'll get back to us, and then you have a USB-C, a USB-A, and also a household plug right down there, which is pretty handy. You have some storage behind the seats. I like the pocket space that you have on both of the backs of the seats. That's definitely handy, and I just have to, again, say, man, these seats look so pretty. Now that is a wrap on the video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Marquardt of Barrington, Buick GMC. We would love to have you. This vehicle is available right now. It could be yours. And we are located in northwest suburbs of Chicago. We have customers come in from out of state all of the time. So please stop on by.